Welcome to this episode of Forethought, the Final Frontier. In this episode, you will learn how to enter lesson plans into your individual planner. Let's begin. First off, in your planner, you will click anywhere within the lesson content area. So if I click, you will notice that my cursor begins blinking. I also have my Curriculum Pane open up on the right-hand side, and I can see a toolbar that opens in the lesson entry area. Some key points that you need to know about the lesson content area are, first off, how to change today's schedule. Change today's schedule allows you to either delete different entries, you can add an entry, or the most important one is to delete today's plans. Especially if you make changes to your planner, you will want to delete the plans for the day so that way your new changes will show up. Second, as I click through and I start to make changes to my plans, the Save button highlights. Now when the Save button is highlighted, your plans are not saved, so therefore you will need to click on Save in order for your plans to be saved. Now if I do not click on that and I begin to type and just let it sit, eventually the Save button will gray out and it will save automatically. The program does save automatically. Other things to note is we have the options up here for spell checking. We have our bold, italicize, underlining. We also can change the font type, the font size. We can put in bullet points. We can take bullet points away. We could even change the color of our ink if we wanted to begin to type in a different color. In order to add the content from the Curriculum Pane, all I have to do is choose the 9 weeks I'm looking at or the 6 weeks. I double click on a standard and it adds it to my lesson content area. If I want to remove that, I right click and say remove from lesson, and then it'll ask me if I'm sure I want to remove it. Now if I click on a standard and there is an activity that's associated with my standard, you will notice the activity will show up in the bottom right hand corner. And this activity can be added back to my lesson by double clicking, and then I will have a button that says Use in Plans, and when I click on Use in Plans, it will append this to the bottom of my lesson, and so that is what the lesson activity was. There's also the ability over here to see different teaks that go with it. We can see how many times I've taught the standard, and it'll also tell me some things about Aware, and we'll get into that another day. Thank you for watching this episode of Forethought, the Final Frontier.